Hello everyone, Cryptex here. Today I want to play some videos that Graz, Real Chill Graz made about the Captain Howdy. I think so far he posted like 4 videos, short videos, very well edited. The editing skills is awesome. This is a subject that is very, how can I say, I'm very intrigued about what happened with the Captain Howdy. Such a tragedy. Of course, it's bad. He killed his wife. He killed himself after, and I think there's a little baby, I don't know, alone with his grandparents, I guess. I don't know. So that's bad. Of course, I'm not gonna say that he was a great person. We know what he did, but I didn't know him at all. I just interchanged, let's say, a couple of emails with him. I admire him as a YouTuber. I think he had a great voice. He was great in terms of storytelling. Very perfectionist. I think he had a common sense at the at the time of making his videos, not doing other things. Because I really I didn't know the Captain Howdy. I wanted to know him. I wrote like a script to make a video with him, and I contacted the captain by email saying that it would be cool to have to make a video with him, that I had some ideas in mind. And he was kind, he replied, but that never happened. So the communication between the captain and myself was that a couple of emails. And today, I think that's the best thing that could happen, right? We never know who is in the other side of the screen. We never know. You don't know who I am. I'm a good person, a bad person. I don't know who you are. So, yeah, at one point in this community, we develop like some kind of trust, but we don't know who is who here. And this is just so bad. But when I compare, let's say, with artists like, I don't know, Roman Polanski, let's say, or Woody Allen, they abused people in his real life, let's say. Those are shitty people, right? But I cannot say that I hate Roman Polanski's movies because he was a bad person, or that I hate Woody Allen movies because he was an abuser, let's say, or whatever. I love Woody Allen's movies. I love Roman Polanski's movies, and I love the Captain Howdy's videos, right? I think he was very kind in some way online, let's say. I reacted to some of his videos because I was not in agree, or I disagree with his ideas sometimes, and I challenged his videos, his ideas, and he was not mad about that. He actually he mentioned me in some of his videos, and it was like a cool interchange, indirect exchange, let's say, because it was not the captain and Cryptex talking. It was like via videos that I made in my channel and videos that he made in his channel, and it was just a couple of mentions, let's say, that I found cool. I think he was a great creator, and the whole story, I'm very curious about that. So what I want to do today is I'm gonna play the videos or the mini series that Real Chill Grass is making about him. Again, the whole editing is very cool. He's telling us the story behind what happened and a little bit of his personal life. it seems that Graz and the captain, they had like a good communication. I think the captain was communicating with a lot of creators in this community, and he was close to a lot of them. So I'm just very curious, and I loved the way Graz made these videos. So I'm gonna play right away what he did, because I think it's cool, and we can chat here, guys. But before doing that, I'm gonna just say hello to you guys here in the chat before starting. Mother of Dragons, how are you? Happy to have you here. Annalisette, of course. Thank you for the email you sent me this morning. I'm gonna watch the video. I haven't watched it, but it's very interesting. Annalisette is sending me always other type of stuff like science and other interests we have in common. RC99, how are you? Mother of Dragons, such a tragedy. I lost my cursor of the mouse. Sorry about that. Yeah, this is bad. But anyway, Cryptex, Shane, how are you, Shane? Happy to have you here, man. Annalise said it sounds like he had talents but was emotionally unstable. Yeah, it seems to be the case. Shane, awful tragedy. Great creator he was, but cannot condone the actions. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. A good analogy. I think you are talking about Roman Polanski and Woody Allen. Phil Spector's music, exactly. One thing is the artist, another thing is the person. So Michael Jackson, yeah, exactly. Shit like that is like everywhere. Mother of Dragons. Unfortunately, you cannot trust anyone on YouTube. I've seen so much over the last 8 years. Yeah, and maybe I'm not saying that's the case, but maybe I'm talking here with Mother of Dragons, and actually, Mother of Dragons is I don't know, fix solves. Sorry for my obsession with fix solves these days, but I'm just pissed about what he does. So yeah, we don't know who's behind the screen. I wish he had gotten help so they would both be here for their child. Yeah, it's the child is the one who is suffering right now. But of course, in the families of both of them, but especially the wife and the children, right? Because if you want to kill yourself, just do it. So bad, but kill yourself. Don't kill other people in that situation. This is just my opinion. Also, we have here Simdal. That's cool. So thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna start with the first video. I think it's 4 videos. They are not so long. We can comment in the chat, and in between each video, I'm gonna do like a short pause to talk to you guys. So let's do it.
This is probably the hardest video I've ever had to make. I've been sitting on it for days, weeks. It's going to probably turn to months soon. Trying to figure out how to talk about it. If I should. How I could. The Captain Howdy was one of my closest friends. We talked on the phone nearly every day at one point. He always checked in on me. He checked in on you. And he built a space on YouTube where people who love true crime felt like they had a home.
Come in, Joe. Hello, Joe. Is that you? We really need you. Oh, my little Joe. You're such a good detective, my little Joe. Becky moved the book and we would not know if it wasn't for you, my little Joe. And you, as above so below, I swear to God, you were my bro. Just kidding, we were left alone. But you're a little bitch, yeah, you're a little bitch. That's all I can say, that's all he can say. It's a case of paranoia, and you're really gay, you're really gay, it's paranoia.
He was really, really smart, and he understood people, especially broken people. He spent years breaking down the psychology of killers, and he could see the patterns that most of us missed. He helped us understand them. And then one day, he became one of them.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on HBO pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas.
Nobody cares, real chill Graz. Go do your own thing.
Let's get ready to rumble!
The following video is brought to you by Captain Howdy's anti-snake oil elixir. Have you been conned into buying someone's snake oil only to realize you've been had?
The captain committed a murder-suicide. He killed his wife, and then he took his own life. And he left behind a son. And now his son has to grow up with that legacy. I don't know how to process this. None of us do. The community is heartbroken. We're confused, angry, betrayed. And that's what this video is about. Trying to understand how someone who spent years studying monsters could become one. This is not a hit piece, and it's not a tribute. It's a conversation about duality, about warning signs, about what we missed, and whether we really ever knew the man behind the voice. For most people, the captain was just a voice, a dark narrator floating through the void of true crime stories, painting horrific images with his words. He never showed his face. He never used his real name. That was part of his mystique, and honestly, it was part of his power. As the Captain Howdy, he became a legend in the true crime space. His videos were disturbing but thoughtful. His humor was grotesque but intentional. He had a way of taking something horrifying and making you think not just about the crime, but about the people behind it. The victims, the killers, the families left behind. He didn't just tell stories. He dissected them. He tore into the psychology of the killers like he was peeling back layers of rot, looking for meaning behind this madness. And he had empathy too, or at least he seemed to. He cared about the people who followed him. He cared about me. He called me just to make sure I was doing okay. Not once or twice, all the time. I've lost count of the nights that we stayed up talking on the phone about life, about cases, about pain. He knew how dark this world could get, and he didn't want the people around him to fall into it. That might be one of the parts hardest to accept, because how do you reconcile that man, the friend, the artist, the observer of evil, with what he ultimately became? Was the darkness always there? Did he know it was growing? Did he warn us about it in ways that we didn't pick up on? Or was he just really good at wearing the mask?
True crime, Ghosts, Breaking Investigates.
The bruiser and all of the
Who's your
flying
cold
monkeys.
case? Anthony from True Crime
He's
Investigates.
the kind of guy who would go out of his way to do something nice.
He was a nice guy. He would do anything for anybody.
I'm talking to the guy. The guy's a really small guy, but really nice guy.
He was actually a pretty good all-around guy.
Yes. Was he very kind to everybody for the most part? Yes.
Total shock. Like, that dude was the nicest guy in the world.
Something and then flipped.
This is a topic that I've wanted to discuss for a very long time, and I've ended up questioning a lot of things in my life as a result of it. Today, I want to talk about someone I really look up to just about more than anyone.
And that person was at one time a really good friend of mine and someone I looked up to.
I borderline idolized
the captain,
and I wanted to be like him more than anything in the world. I was obsessed
with true crime And to me, and many other people in the true crime community, the Captain was the best YouTuber
had ever lived. I can't tell you how many nights I stayed up, glued to my
screen, poring over the videos that the Captain made in just total amazement. It was like someone who loved art.
Finally getting to see a Da Vinci for the first time.
When he was growing up in
the 1980s during the height of the Cold War. And think of the fat kid with no teeth from Stranger Things,
and that was him to the T. Except without the Demogorgon or anything really remotely cool for that matter. I can't truly explain to you in this video how much people loved him. He was borderline a national treasure. He loved
chess,
he loved true crime, he loved the community, and he
despised
trolls. I don't know if he despised the trolls so much as he cared deeply what they thought. For someone who came off as so fearless online, so bold, so unfiltered, the Captain was deeply affected by what people thought of him. And he said it outright in his videos a lot of times.
It is absolutely brutal out there right now, and I feel like when I create a video, I'm walking on eggshells.
And if you knew him behind the scenes, you would know even more. He worried about it constantly, about people misinterpreting him, about being misunderstood, misquoted, misjudged, misidentified. He would comb through comment sections. He would rewatch his own videos and fixate on tiny things.
It's honestly one of the most upsetting topics.
He wasn't obsessed with fame. He was obsessed with control. And he wanted to control how he was perceived. And when somebody attacked him online, even anonymously, it completely destroyed him. I remember whole nights on the phone where all we talked about was some troll's comment or someone taking a jab at him in a comment section. He didn't just brush it off like most creators try to do. He internalized it. He took it personally, and sometimes he even spiraled. This wasn't just insecurity. It was deeper than that. He needed people to see him a certain way. As smart, as sharp, as original, as dark, but thoughtful. If you questioned that identity, he didn't just get defensive, he got scared. It's chilling to think about now. Because for someone who spent so much time analyzing other killers, their patterns, motivations, their insecurities, he seemed blind to his own. And maybe that's where the real mask started to crack. Not in the crime, but in the constant fear of being exposed, misunderstood, or forgotten. Looking back, I think the Captain thought he was in control of the darkness, that by studying it, by laughing at it, by turning it into content, he was safe from it in some way. But, control is a fragile thing. And when your sense of self is built on how other people see you, it doesn't take much to shatter it.
When I woke up this morning, he was standing by my door. Said his name was Captain Howdy, and we'd met somewhere before. Came inside and he looked around, said he was feeling down, 'cause someone circulating rumors about him around this town.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you didn't know, my name is Real Chill Graz, and this is only part 1 of a long series to come. So make sure you subscribe, and this shit took a lot of editing. It's not easy, so hitting the subscribe really helps.
So that was the first episode. I think this is the longest one. I really love the editing skill, the storytelling. Very cool. The information is informative. I'm glad that Graz is back. If he stays in this type of pattern, doing interesting and informative videos, he's gonna do great. I hope he doesn't start drama again as he was the last time he was in YouTube, because of that at the end he didn't end well, in my opinion, and I think he said that himself. So he's a great creator. We just can see the type of videos he's able to do. So if he stays in that line, he's gonna do great. So try to stay in that path. Graz, I am no one to give advices, but I think it's a good advice because you do great videos like these ones. So before going to the second episode, I'm just gonna read your comments. Mother of Dragons. Unfortunately, you cannot trust anyone on YouTube. That's true. That's what I was saying. We don't know who is in the other side of the screen. There are people with alter accounts trying to be your friend. So maybe I talking to someone. He's a great guy. Carol is a great guy. Annalisette, and at the end is maybe Annalisette is a guy. So just saying, we don't know. Carol is here. Thank you, Carol, for being here. Happy to have you here. Mother of Dragons, I wish he had gotten help so they would both be here for their child. Yeah. Annalise said, a doctor once told me that creative people tend to have higher highs and lower lows emotionally. Not bipolar, but not as steady as average people, for what is worth. I agree, and I'm not a psychologist, but I just want to repeat, if you want to hurt yourself, don't hurt other people in the middle. You want to kill yourself, try to kill yourself only. Don't kill your wife, don't kill your friends, don't kill other people. So I know that it's easy to say, but I think that's the way. Simdal is here. Simdal didn't know that what happened to Captain, so I think you already know. People explained to you in the chat, so yeah, that's bad. That's sad. Not what happened to him. What happened to him, to his wife, who he killed her. So yeah, and to his son, who is alone right now. Analyzing, according to reports, the wife had gotten a restraining order, which he didn't obey. Lots of lines crossed to commit the tragedy. Yeah, 100%. That was like an escalation at some point. Annalise said, Graz did a great job with this series, I agree. No, he's not okay. Annalise said, about a month ago, he showed... she's explaining what happened. Sorry. I advanced it a lot. Okay, sorry guys, here. Okay. Apparently he seemed to be a nice, caring, helpful person in his online contacts. There were horrible issues in real life. They had a child, now an orphan. Yeah, this is sad. Seemed like his online persona was his escape. You never know what people are going through in life. That's true also. Especially online, it is so easy to wear a mask. That applies to me. I mean, literally, because when I started my channel, I was wearing a mask. And there were two main factors for that. One is because I was really shy, and I wanted to start like step by step. I didn't want to go live showing my face because I was just panicking. I didn't like to be in front of a camera, etc. But also because some creators were like inspiring me, like who's your the Bruiser, the Captain, people that were not showing his face, and that gave them like an aura of curiosity, like who is this guy? I don't know, it was cool. And so that's why I was wearing a mask at one point when I felt more comfortable. And also because I had an accident in the airport of Miami. I was doing a live and I was showing what happened at the other side of the screen, and by mistake I showed my face. Yeah, fuck. Okay, it's too late. So let's do it. Let's just be myself. So sorry for the long story here, but yeah, it's very easy to wear a mask in YouTube online. You're right. Sindel suspected that Cryptex was a Colombian drug lord. You don't know. Maybe I am. How do you know? That's what happened here in YouTube. I can't seem to be I don't know. I can look like a nice guy, but maybe I did a lot of bad things. That's the point. You understand what I'm saying? Analyse. It sounds like he was unable to have a family relationship, had friends and acquaintances, but apparently not a healthy relationship with his partner. That's what it looks like. Did you have a private contact with him, Cryptex? I just explained that at the beginning of the video. Not really. It was just a couple of emails that we interchanged. I wanted to do a video with him because he was like my superhero here. I really loved the way he made the videos. I still love his videos, of course. And I wanted to be part, like in one of his videos that was wow. And I prepared like a script. And he replied to me, yes, we are going to do it at one point, but it was really like he was not really into that. But every time I wrote to him, he replied to me in a kind way. And of course, he mentioned me in a couple of videos he made because I was challenging previous videos and stuff like that. But no more. I didn't have any other contact with him. And today I'm glad, really I'm glad. We never know what is going to happen next, but in retrospective, I'm glad I didn't have too much contact with him. Mar is here. Hello, Mar. Happy to have you here. I'm really glad you're here today. Cindy's here too. How are you, Cindy? Guys, give me 1 second. I have to connect my charger. If not, I'm gonna lose my streaming. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry. Sorry for that interruption again. So I cut the flow. I don't remember what I was talking about. So I'm going to continue reading the comments before going to the second episode. What a sad, selfish, twisted mess, and embarrassing what he did. Yeah. Simdal could be a psychosis or maybe something drug-induced. Is there more details? Yeah. Graz is gonna tell us a little bit more of what could be behind the event. Let's say I think he was drinking too much. He lied a lot to his friends. He said that he was working somewhere and actually he was not working. And anyways, I'm just gonna let the videos to tell the story. But look. A psychosis is something, I think that a psychosis is something that happened like right away. It's like one time situation. Again, I'm not a psychologist, but what happened seems to be prepared. He went to that gas station with a gun, so he has the intention to do harm, you know. So it was not like he snapped. In my opinion, if I understand properly what happened, it seems to be premeditated. And as Annalise said in one of her comments, he had a restrained order. I think it was for aggravated battery. So it was something that came for years, let's say. Tony, hello. I hope Graz is well and you too. Thank you. But Graz is not here. I'm just playing his video. Analyze Cold Truth channel may have given the most accurate rundown. Apparently, he didn't function well in real life. Yeah, I was watching her video. He was really very honest because she was a good friend of the captain, and I think she was the one who was really not criticizing, but putting the things as they were. So she was really hard towards the captain and towards the people who were criticizing his wife, which is nonsense. Yeah, Cold Truth, she did a great job, very honest. Cindy, I think it's important not to judge people for grieving the person they thought Captain was. Most are realizing the person he really is. It has to be painful for all who love them. Yeah, and again, I think we have to separate the creator from the real person. Again, I'm going to repeat the parallel between, let's say, Roman Polanski, Woody Allen, Kevin Spacey, let's say. They did bad things in their lives, but they were or they are great artists. I cannot say that I hate Kevin Spacey's performances because he was molesting people, or that I hate Roman Polanski because he abused of an underage girl. Yeah, I hate the person and his actions, let's say, but not the artist. His movies are great. It is what it is. Yeah, me too. It doesn't diminish the quality of his works. Yeah, 100%. I think everybody loved his videos, everyone here. They were very tough, provoking, right? Mar, she thinks I was a Russian. I am a Russian. Ah, really? You thought that? Yeah. Maybe I had some Russian genes, let's say. Analyze, once upon a time, he encouraged us to guess his nationality. He filmed himself in a snowy landscape, and I guess several other pockets of Europe. Yeah, it's about me, yeah. Okay, let's go with the next video maybe, or let me just finish here the comments, guys, quickly. I am glad you don't have the mask, but I understand the wearing. Thank you. Josh the Posh is here. How are you, Josh? I just jumped in. Is there a series about what happened to Captain Howdy? Yes, I'm playing the series, and the series were made by Real Chill Graz, and I think they are not finished yet. So I'm gonna play them. I already played one episode, and I'm gonna play the other three. There are short episodes and very well edited. I did the unforgivable. Believing the first language was Spanish, certain soft sounds indicated Mexican. Lots of people don't like that comparison, but both have soft sounds. I don't mind being compared with a Mexican. I love Mexican people. And I have a very nice Mexican friends, but I'm Colombian. And as I said, Graz did a 4-part series on this case, which Cryptis is sharing with us. Exactly. I hope Graz is okay with that. I didn't ask him, so my bad. Just the Posh, it is so sad. I didn't know anything about Captain Howdy's personal life. I just watched his videos on Delphi a few years ago and appreciated his analysis. So weird, yeah. Big fish, small ponds here. Don't hate, create. Fishy. Cool to have you here. Analyst said, Anthony Grino has participated in videos about the captain. Grino has a difficult background, and I hope this tragedy has a positive impact. He has tremendous talent if he can go in the right direction. Oh, Matt Sullivan is here. Hello, Matt. Happy to have you here. I know that Matt was a good friend of the captain, so this should be something shocking for him, I guess, or difficult. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, it's just crazy. Matt Sullivan. I was one of a few people who met the captain physically and knew him personally to some degree. All this came out of left field and broke a lot of our hearts. Of course, if we are shocked, uh, people like me, that we didn't have that personal contact, I cannot imagine, let's say, you or HCC called the truth. It should be very, very hard for you guys. That's for real. So that's for sure. Let me go for the second one. Okay, so let's play the part 2, and this is gonna be a short episode, and we will continue with the comments in the next pause, let's say. So let's do it right now.
He told me his name was Jacob, and it turns out that wasn't entirely a lie. It was a nickname. Some people who knew him offline, like family or real-world friends, they knew him as Jacob too. That's the thing about the captain. He created this online persona that felt authentic. It felt really real, it felt honest and relatable. But in the end, we don't really know where the mask stopped and the man began. We're all just trying to piece it together, trying to find the man behind the messages. And now we're left with this hole, this horrifying contradiction. Was it real? Or was it a lie? The truth is, it was both. He could be kind and cruel. He could help someone through a mental breakdown and later commit something unforgivable. We're not here to rewrite history. We're here to look at it exactly as it was, even if it makes us sick. In this section of the series, we're going to walk through some of our actual conversations. Not just mine, but messages, screenshots, and emails forwarded to me by other people in the community. People who knew him well, or thought they did. Because this isn't just my story. This shook a lot of people.
I am here with my good friend, the captain. Hello. Say hello, hello. And we are doing a shot of kamikaze, which is a very rare occurrence for me. So here's to you, and here's to me. Friends forever, we shall be. But if we ever disagree, fuck you, Dad. Here's to me. Fuck it. Here's to me. Indeed.
That was amazing. Wow.
By the way, Gray was friends with that guy that offed himself and still protected him. That is how sick that motherfucker is.
Another guy. There's a guy named. We went by the captain.
This guy, this Captain Howdy, which is a content creator, he killed his wife and himself in goddamn February. I am not shitting you. You can look it up. There's an article about it. He was the creator behind Captain Howdy. And you know the sickest part is that we saved that fucking piece that he lost his shit, and people fucking scrutinized me for it. Because I showed how such a fucking narcissist this guy was. That he was totally batshit crazy.
About the Captain Howdy, I go through so many different feelings and come at it from so many different angles because, you know, a situation like this is so complex, and people who have had the pleasure of meeting the Captain Howdy say that he was friendly, helpful, thoughtful, and indeed, you know, I hope that this event doesn't wipe out any of those positive feelings. And in my life, when I am being thrown around like a ship in a storm at sea with the way I'm thinking about things, I just want you to realize that that does not take away my respect for the Captain Howdy as a creator.
You know, it's just, it caught me off guard. And at first I didn't want to believe it. That was frustrating in itself, to not even be able to find out if it was my friend, you know, or, you know, the captain. And that was the hardest part, man, is sitting there waiting for those 3 days, because I didn't want to believe it. I just didn't believe it until I saw it officially. And that's when it really hit me. And I think about it all the time. It's really sad.
I mean, look at Captain Howdy. He had to literally go fucking kill his witch wife and himself and leave their 1-year-old behind, because even he could not handle fucking reality. And see what they do, they literally go and they do black magic rituals to try to control the narrative of this case. And they wonder, oh, why can't we get to the prop? Why can't we get to the prop? Well, motherfucker, you'll figure it out.
We've spoken to a bunch of creators, friends, and followers of his. People who were devastated, confused, angry. Some of them were just numb. Some of them talk to him daily. Others saw him as a mentor, a guide, and some even thought of him like a brother. And then there's the other side of it. People who look at what he did and they say, maybe he was always a monster. Maybe we were just too close to it. Here are some of their voices.
No, there's a guy named, we went by the Captain, you know, on YouTube. And I think it was yesterday or the night before yesterday. I can't remember exactly when. But I heard that, it was really a strange story. Like, he was involved in he killed it wasn't really his wife, but they were sort of like married, 20 years together. He killed her and then he killed himself. And I knew this guy. Like, I actually had talked to him on the phone a couple times. And there's people that know him a hell of a lot better than I did. He made videos on Delphi for a long time, and we communicated for years, just on Facebook. And he had talked about how he and his wife, they tried to have kids. He sent me, he was so excited when she was pregnant, and then finally they had the baby. Just really, I mean, he really cared about this child, like that's what he was just so happy that they finally were able to have a baby. And then it turns out that, one day he's staying at home and everything, working, and then according to Hoosier Cold Cases, he, she comes home wearing her normal clothes when she should have been working, and then he questioned her at where she'd been. He thought maybe she was cheating on him, and then he wanted to see her phone, and she wouldn't let him see the phone. And then he, I don't know what happened, like he got kicked out of the house, and then she claimed that he was doing, hitting her and stuff like that, and then he wouldn't let her see the kid. What was the other? Oh yeah, and then there's this, like, she's dating these other people, and one of the guys that was dating her said that the child was his, the one that he was so excited to have. And so then I guess he went over to her place at work to talk about something else, maybe. I don't know. He had a gun with him, obviously. So then he ends up shooting her, and then he shot himself on the way out in the parking lot. I mean, it's absolutely crazy as hell, but I don't know how to, this is one of those things, like, sometimes you push a person to the edge of their limits. Like, if you destroy their entire life, that stuff happens, it's not like that's the choice you should make, but it doesn't.
He was lazy, neglectful, jobless, drunk, and selfish, and abusive. He told people this was just this isn't like just here. This has been a long time running because this is an excuse he used to get off the phone with me all the time, was that he had a job, he had a work call, but from the sources that I have spoken to, he didn't have a job, which deduction would be, if now that we've all heard what all of the other people that he was talking to every day, how could he possibly have time? I mean, he was on the phone with like 5 or 6 people every day, all day long, cunning to make each person, I'm only telling you this. Promise me you won't tell. Promise me you'll keep this between us. Promise, promise, promise. Normal people keep that promise. Therefore, that helped him to divide all of his friends from knowing that he was just telling everybody that.
And perhaps one of the more important opinions would be from somebody who knew the captain on a personal level, right? Well, somebody who knew the captain for over 20 years anonymously wrote us this letter. And it says, I know how close you were. I just need you to know he wasn't who you thought he was. Not in the slightest. He made people see what he wanted them to see, whether that was a victim, a hero, or a brother. The truth is, he was violent, mentally and physically abusive, very cunning and charming, a narcissist and a cult leader. He thrived on being the center of attention, being right and making people think they were dumb, and he could show you things unimaginable. This man destroyed my life, and I am truly lucky to be alive. I tried to get her out multiple times. When you're being manipulated, when you are scared to say anything, when you think and believe, this is normal, right? He always accused those around him of doing things that just weren't true. In case anyone ever spoke up and told the truth, he could rebuttal. They were crazy or lying. The truth of the matter is, it was always him doing the damage. He was a chess master for a reason. He planned and plotted every single scenario before they ever happened. He was sick, and I desperately tried to help him for well over 20 years, but in his mind, he was never the problem. I will never say the things that happened in that home, or go into any detail. This is bad enough already. Believe what you want. I know the truth. I lived it. When we first met a long time ago, he looked at me and said, I'm a monster. I replied, No, you aren't. I love and accept you for the good and the bad, but you are no monster. When someone tells you who they are, listen. I do wish you the best in life, and I'm only sharing this because he's already gotten away with murder and shouldn't be allowed to get away with anything else. Not anymore. Amanda was a good woman, and not a single thing he said about her was true. There was no gun in that house. His stab wound was self-inflicted. Cigarette burns up and down his arm, self-inflicted. Cuts and bruises he did himself. He did not have a job. He starved his own son, killed animals, and made jokes about all of this. She didn't abuse him in any way. Everyone wants to say, no way, he wouldn't do this. It was his finances, stress, cheating, etc. His whole life outside of it, and I am sorry. I know he was your friend, but someone needs to know the truth.
So that was part 2 out of 4. What do you think, guys? Do you like the series? I really think it's very well done, and it gave us like a good insight of the situation, let's say. Sindal says that I need to stream with a sombrero. I promise that. I promise you. Before the end of this year, I'm gonna do a streaming using a sombrero. Matt Sullivan, I was one of few people who met the captain physically. and knew him personally to some degree. All of this came out of left field and broke a lot of our hearts. I think I already read this comment, and you're right. Matt, again, every one of his friends were lied for the most part. Yeah. Lied to us about his life, his relationship, his job status. The whole thing was extremely confusing. Yeah, when you think you know someone and your friend is lying to you, sometimes people are good at lying. It's hard to make the difference. Not everyone is like Keegan, who I'm not comparing Keegan to the captain, but just saying that some it's evident when some people is lying, but in other situation it's not that evident, let's say. Just the push. Is there a link to this so I can catch the first episode? Yes, I'm gonna put the episode, the link of the videos in the description later. Just the push. Love Bomb, how are you? Reminds you there are real people behind the keyboard. Some friends, some fools, some will kill when pushed too far. Yeah, we don't know who is behind the screen. I agree. And as I said, a long time ago, people couldn't discuss cases like this. Discussion is healthy. I think so. Discussion is healthy. And I think this is one of the good things in this channel. I think I have a lot of common sense viewers, subscribers, and we can discuss about stuff like that, like in a healthy way, let's say. For sure, I'm sure I'm gonna see some interchange later, but in general, we can talk about stuff here. Okay, Love Bomb, yeah. Okay, here we have Matt again. I truly cried about it for a couple of days. Sucks. There were others who knew him better than I did. I can't imagine how they felt. Yeah, again, if this was shocking for me and for the viewers, people who actually we didn't know him well, I cannot imagine your feelings, Matt, or the feelings of the other viewers, the other friends. And let's not talk about the family of his wife, of course. That's the worst. I just want to say this, Frank the Crab. It's sad that this guy was in the video, but whatever. Simdal. It starts with one lie, and before you know it, one has created an entire alternate reality. Honestly, it's so much easier. Yeah, one lie leads to another lie, leads to another lie, and at the end it's gonna be a snowball you are not able to control. Lying is bad. Yeah, I agree with you. At the end, you are gonna create an alternate reality. Happy holiday to you guys, by the way. I have to work and to read a lot of documents, and I'm procrastinating here. But anyways, and I said, years ago, something like this happened in my real life. It has affected me always. The subject is beyond distressing, but shining light upon darkness is helpful. Yeah, I think it is important to talk about this type of things in a healthy way, let's say. Bossy. Okay, this is another very important comment. Frank is bad shit, drunk, crazy, racist, stupid, piece of shit. I agree with you, Cindy. Bossy, there's tons of fake creators in this community. Look at that gross predator example right there. There are a lot of crazy people in this creator, for sure. I don't know who are you talking about, but yeah. Annalise said, some of those creators, I had more questions about the Captain Howdy. Let's not to talk about other creators, guys, here. You can talk about Frank the Crab and say that he's crap, but the other ones is source. I was just kidding. Seems that monsters rarely present themselves as such. If only it was that easy. I agree. Cold Truth explained it best. Yeah, I think the video that Cold Truth made talking about the Captain Howdy was great. She was very honest. We can see that she was really hard, and she just explained the whole situation in a very honest way. And yeah, if you can catch, I think the live is still there in her channel, so you can go and watch what she said after the tragic event, let's say. Analyzed. Okay, again, let's not talk about other creators, guy. Grace shouldn't be saying that shit. Yeah, very distasteful. What do you expect? But as Matt was saying here in the chat, the captain was lying to all of his friends and contacts. Maybe it was not, of course, it was not a good move to go on, and I don't like Gray Hughes at all. I really dislike that guy, but if he was being lied by the captain, but it was not a good move to talk bad about captain's wife, for sure. I agree. But people people were being lied about a lot of things. Matt Sullivan, personality disorder. And I said, this sort of ultimate DV, what is DV? Is done from selfishness and self-centeredness. If the perpetrators put others' needs and feelings before their own, things might be different. I agree. Dan is here. How are you? Curious Contrarian. Okay. Tony, now that I hear the full story, I totally lose any respect for dog. Selfish and disgusting. Again, as a person, I can understand that for sure. But I think we should be able, or at least I am able to separate the creator from the real person. I still love his videos. I think he was an artist in terms of making videos. I'm not praising him as a person, of course. What he did was terrible, horrible. And yeah, but okay. We all know someone like probably that is the scary part. Master manipulator. Yeah, you can be manipulated so easy. So anyway, I would never know someone 20 years that I thought that of. This is so dark. This is so dark. I agree. Piss me off once and you're absolutely dead to me. I disassociate too good. Mar is giving me high five. I don't know why, but back to you too. Analyze translation. He was a really messed up human being, and at the end could have been foreseen. Yeah, maybe. For Maiden wins. That's who BG will turn out to be. Chameleon. Okay. Matt Sullivan again. He was clearly psychopathic. I heard he would kill animals, etc. I mean, what in the hell? All of this is so insane. Yeah, for sure. If he was killing animals, we know that it's not a big step from killing animals to killing human beings, and maybe that's what happened. Yeah, this is so dark and so sad. Graz is here. It killed me to add the prof and Frank, but I was going for unbiased. Thank you for streaming this script text. I'm too nervous, staying quiet. And sorry, I didn't ask for permission, Graz. I'm just, as I told you in the comment sections of your videos, I really love the editing skills, and I think it's really important to have that type of feedback from someone who was close to the captain, as you were. So that's why I'm making this video, and Don't be nervous. I'm the nervous one. Come on. Love bomb. I hate to say this, but I don't understand. If someone is going to analyze themselves, why take someone innocent with you? Yeah, this is so selfish. Again, if you want to kill yourself, but don't take other lives with you at that point. Sindal is congratulating Graz. First time hearing about this, seems balanced. Yeah, I agree. Seems very balanced, very equilibrated, let's say. Some people can't deal with gaining even a small bit of online notoriety. I think that was not the intent, because actually he was trying to remain anonymous. So I don't think it was. This is related to gaining notoriety or fame. But anyways, Hiwata is here. How are you, Hiwata? Hiwata is one of my best viewers, loyal subscribers. I just love her vibes, as Mar, Simdal, Cindy, all of you guys here. Great, great crew. Frank is trash. He's trash. He's trash. Okay, let me go. Purple Amaryllis. Graz got the perfect balance and tone in these shows. Yeah, very tough, provoking. I agree, 100%. I'm sorry, Cryptid, for mentioning. No, don't be sorry. Just try to stay focused in the subject, guys. But it's fine. That's why the mods are here, to try to calm the chat. Elizabeth's here. How are you, Elizabeth? Is saying hi to Matt Sullivan. Big fish, fishy. Real chill, Grass. You did a great job. I agree. I think we all agree. Great job. So let's go with the third part, the third video. Graz, are you going to continue making more videos about that, or is the series over? You made like 4 videos, I think. So I'm just curious if you're going to continue, or is already stopped, let's say. I'm going to look for the part 3. Give me just 1 second. So let's go with part 3 in a couple of seconds. This is going to be 7 minutes. Let's do it right now. Part 3. I'm going to remove myself.
So there's people who hide because they're scared, because the world feels too sharp, too loud, too cruel. And then there's others, the ones who didn't hide from the world. They hid something from the world. Doug was never that famous, but to us he was. And now, we don't know which mask he was wearing. Was he scared of being seen, or scared of being exposed? Was he protecting himself, or hiding something? And maybe the scariest thing is, we still can't tell the difference. Or can we?
He'd spent months in complete isolation planning this murder-suicide. It's apparent that Ricardo was diagnosed with a mental illness, although I haven't been able to find out the specifics about which one. But there was no doubt people in his life who knew that there were problems with him.
Captain Howdy spent his life hiding in plain sight. He craved recognition, but hated the spotlight. He wanted to create, but never to be seen. And that's a bit weird, right? A YouTuber, a public persona who didn't want to be looked at? He wasn't just afraid of criticism from others. His criticism of himself nearly crippled him.
My channel recently fell under attack. It is absolutely brutal out there right now. And I feel like when I create a video, I'm walking on eggshells. I was smeared with homophobic slurs. Someone called me the R word. My audience is actually much more interested in my true crime stuff than they are the silly games I've posted. I don't want to copycat the way other people make videos. I've always tried to be incredibly careful when making these videos. These topics can be incredibly difficult to discuss, and it's really easy to upset people without even meaning to do so.
He would post videos only to take them down days later, sometimes within hours, because he thought they weren't good enough.
I actually took my video down that I published on Friday. It's going to stay that way. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but some of my videos lately have been kind of off. I've kind of missed the mark on them.
It didn't matter if the video was already well received. If it wasn't perfect in his eyes, it was trash. And that wasn't perfectionism. It was a whole different kind of animal.
And they're not really my normal type of video. I can't tell you how many videos I've put on private and just never published because I questioned some aspect of that video. When I aired my top 5 creepy videos, it dawned on me in the middle of me premiering the video that I only included 4 videos in it. I can't believe I did that. It is almost embarrassing to say that I've been a content creator that covered the case.
Even if someone was wrong about something, he wouldn't correct them. He couldn't risk the confrontation.
It's really bad. I have zero intention whatsoever of making a video like for the public where I address any of this stuff. It's totally pointless. People are so polarized right now. I'm not going to sway anyone's opinion on things at this point at all. I didn't get the reception on that video I was hoping for.
He'd rather stay silent than speak and risk retaliation.
And we should do our best to tread softly when we talk about them, because they never gave us their permission to even discuss them. And they most certainly didn't give us their permission to make more victims in their honor. I don't have to debunk what this person is saying. None of us do. Evidence never mattered to them in the first place. I guess in the end, I understand the need to create conspiracies around things like this, because honestly, horrible things shouldn't be allowed to have simple answers. No matter what evidence is being presented, none of it's going to matter, because if evidence hasn't mattered up until this moment, why would it start all of a sudden mattering then? But that is a big part of why I am so careful when I try to discuss video.
In the years I've known him, he's only corrected one true crime theory, and that was of a man who was also one of his best friends. Even if someone was wrong about something, he just couldn't correct them. I remember getting a message from the captain one time. He wrote something like, "Hey bro, someone told me you're making a video about me and I'm kind of freaking out." He wasn't even sure if it was true, but that was enough to send him spiraling. He had to know where he stood, and if someone was even thinking about making a video about him, he was ready to shut everything down. I had to convince him it wasn't true and that I wasn't making a video about him, but the fact that he believed it, that was just how deep his paranoia ran. And when the captain met other creators in real life, he refused to show his face. He wouldn't let anyone take a picture of him. No group shots, no video clips. It was like he was afraid that if people saw him, they'd figure out who he really was.
I'm the captain now.
The captain wrote entire scripts for videos he didn't want credit for. When we made the video, 50 Shades of Grey Hughes Investigates, calling out Grey for exploiting people and grifting, the captain was all in. He was behind the scenes, shaping the script, editing the narrative. He never wanted anyone to know how he was involved. The backlash was too much for him to handle. Even though he was the mastermind of the whole thing, he wanted to stay silent. The same thing happened with another video he worked on with True Crime Jesus. The captain helped write the script, made the edits, but refused to take credit. And he even had his wife, Amanda, the future victim, record voiceover lines for it.
Sadly, creators like myself don't have the following or power to truly bring this to the attention of YouTube.
For Captain, it was about controlling the narrative while keeping his name out of it. Always the invisible hand behind the curtain, but never stepping into the light. What the captain couldn't handle wasn't criticism, it was exposure, being seen for who he really was. Every time he helped create something that got attention, he feared the spotlight that would follow. He couldn't stand the idea of being exposed. He always wanted to be at the center of things, but never to be recognized. It's like he wanted the world to know his work, but never wanted to reveal his face, to stay faceless, anonymous, and untraceable. You can hide from a camera, but you can't hide from the truth. In part 4, we'll face the truth. No more hiding, no more explanations. It's time to look at this crime for what it is.
So that was part 3. Awesome again, awesome skills, editing skills, Graz. I stopped making videos because it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. And I was one of the ones making videos of about 2, 3, 4 minutes max. And it takes a lot of time. I was never satisfied with the final quality of my videos, but at the end, I posted the videos because at one point you have to do it, but it's a lot of time, it's a lot of energy. So again, great job with this series. The editing is awesome. Let's come back to the chat. Elizabeth is saying hello to Matt. Fishy, you did a great job, Graz. Again, yeah, I agree, 100%. You really leveled up. I know it takes a ton of time and energy. Exactly. That edit you did of Frank is gold throw. It's one of my favorite bits on YouTube. Annalise, according to FBI statistics, cases like this happen about 600 times a year, accounting for 1,000 to 2,500 unalivings. Yeah, this is so sad. Lily Shaw is here. How are you, Lily? Let's go. Okay, Graz. I got 2 more videos. The next one will be the longest and craziest. Oh, shoot. We are just going to be very attentive to that. Graz. Simdal. They even have a name for it. Family Annihilator. Really? I didn't know that. Oh, shit. Okay, Analyse. I was thinking about that. Looks like the FBI includes that category. I was thinking it would be separate. Such a disturbing trend. Linda K. Johnson is here saying hello. Okay, Graz again. This is more of a matricide than a family annihilator. Yeah, I agree. But he definitely annihilated any hopes his family had. 100%. It's very sad. Sindel replies, just saying, often this case include the children. Yeah. I'm surprised it didn't, but thankfully, yeah, at least the child is alive. It's gonna be hard because he doesn't have his parents, of course, but at least I hope someone is gonna take care of the poor guy. I don't know, his grandparents or uncles, aunt. I don't know. I hope he's gonna be okay. Annalise, I don't think it is a trend. I think the FBA statistics I got were from 2013. An anti-gun site recently used the same numbers. Fortunately, this kind of crime is rare overall. I don't think it's rare, but okay. Simdal, here in the Netherlands, it is. This thing seems to happen in waves. In Colombia, it's the same, in waves. Media attention creates more of these incidents. Copycat behavior. Just the push. This is so different than the creator that I thought he was. This type of self-reflection or self-criticism I rarely see with narcissistic. It's something else at play. Yeah, I think a lot of elements in this story we don't know. Annalise said, matricide is killing one's own mother. Killing one's wife is uxoricide. I'm learning too much today with you guys. Okay. Killing your wife is uxoricide. Really? I didn't know that. From the 321 from Australia. Okay, I'm here. You can start now. Okay. Yeah, me too, Graz. I'm learning a lot of new stuff here. Analyset. In the US, guns are blamed. They are certainly handy weapons, but many of us have them and never harm any other human beings. Yeah, I have my own opinion about that. I think that if you have a gun, the possibility for disaster is bigger. So when guns are allowed, I know it's too late, and people use guns to defend themselves in US, but I don't think it's a great idea, and for sure is a main contributory element for this type of incidents. You're gonna say, yeah, if he was a killer and he didn't have a gun, he's gonna kill his wife anyways by strangling or I don't know. But I think the possibility to survive is gonna be higher if you don't have a gun, let's say, if the killer doesn't have a gun. Anyways, my personal opinion, and I know that a lot of you are gonna be in an opposite line, let's say. Cindy Lien. Hi, Wata. Always a pleasure. Your comments always seem to keep emotion out. Yeah, I agree. And I'm highly emotional. Me too. Sometimes I'm highly emotional. Sindal. I don't think the method is relevant. If someone wants to do this, they will find a way. I just gave my opinion about that. Okay, let's continue here. Hi, Wata. Cryptus, I'm so happy you got rid of your mask. Why? You didn't like my mask? It was actually not a good idea because with my strong accent and the mask in front of my mouth, I don't know how were you able to understand what I was saying, guys, but thank you for that. The mask is off. Mask off like a future. Sila Stingy. You really have a talent for making videos. Yeah, Graz. I agree. So I think everyone is praising Graz for these editing skills and well deserved. Just the Posh. I learned something new. Yeah, we all learn something new here. From the Theory 21, Graz in the chat of a live reacting to Graz. Narrating on a video created by Graz about a friend of Graz, reading my comment about Graz. Goodness gracious, you are making up for your time away, Graz. Grazception. Okay, so let's go with the final video. I'm gonna look for it. It's gonna be part 4. And please go to Graz channel. He has great content. He's doing interesting interviews with writers, with directors, filmmakers. So, and I think you're still here, Graz. I was talking at the beginning of the live that I hope, and I'm no one to give any advice, but if you keep your channel and your creation process in this way, you're gonna do great, man, because you have great editing skills. So you know that when you were like into drama and stuff like that, it didn't end well. And I really like to see you making this type of content. So I'm no one again to give you any advice, but just saying, because we like what you're doing. So let's go with part number 4, right? So let's do it. I'm gonna remove myself from the screen.
We do have some breaking news out of Maryville. 2 people are dead after
a domestic-related shooting at a gas station in Maryville, Indiana. It happened just before 10 o'clock this morning.
At this Luke gas station on Lincoln Highway.
After reports of gunfire.
Police telling us
a man walked in, then shot the female clerk several times.
Police say when they arrived, they found the bodies of 2 people inside the station. They do say it was a murder-suicide.
And that man was found dead just steps from the door. Investigators are calling this a domestic situation and say there is no threat to the public.
Unfortunately, part 4 is going to be very short. When it comes down to the crime itself, it's shockingly simple, very straightforward, and somehow it makes it even harder to talk about. On February 15th, 2025, just before 9:43 in the morning, police were called to the Luke's gas station on Lincoln Highway in Maryville, Indiana. When they arrived, they found 2 bodies, 42-year-old Amanda Dusick and 45-year-old Douglas Venable. Amanda had been shot and killed, and Doug had turned the gun on himself. But there was a detail that stuck out in the police report. Doug didn't fire just once. He had multiple self-inflicted gunshot wounds. And while that might sound strange, it's not unheard of. Statistics show that around 8 to 10% of gun-related suicides involve more than one shot. Whether the first shot wasn't fatal, or whether adrenaline drove the moment forward, or whether the will to finish what started overwhelmed the body's natural instinct to survive. We'll never know. There's not much to the timeline of the crime either. Approximately 30 minutes before this all happened, Doug had asked a friend to borrow their vehicle because it had no heat. 9:43 a.m., shots fired at Luke's gas station. 9:46 a.m., the police arrive and both are announced dead at the scene. Later that day, the murder-suicide was confirmed and that it was stemming from a domestic dispute. The next day, on the 16th, the coroner finally identified both victims. But that day wasn't the only time that Doug tried to take his own life. Just a few weeks before the shooting, we actually found out that he had attempted suicide using carbon monoxide poisoning, but it didn't work. In that part about the car, Doug didn't drive his own car to the scene. He borrowed a friend's car, claiming that his heat wasn't working. Some people believe that the real reason was his fear of being identified. Amanda had already filed a restraining order. If he drove his own car, maybe cameras would have caught it, or if he chickened out, they'd still know that he was there. He would have gotten in big trouble. Maybe that's why he borrowed the car. It makes you wonder, had he already tried this before? Circled the gas station, sat there staring through the windshield? We may never know. And here's the part that I can't let go of, the imbalance in the way that we tell these stories, myself included. The killer's name is always in the headline. The killer becomes the household name. The killer gets studied, analyzed, mythologized, and people like Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Richard Ramirez, they're remembered. But ask the average person to name even one victim in one of those cases. Most people can't. Amanda Dusick was a daughter, a friend, a mother, a human being, but now her name is a footnote and his name becomes a legacy. The crime was simple. Pull the trigger, end it. But the damage that was done, the questions and the grief, the ultimate betrayal, that will never feel simple. That part will follow us long after these headlines fade.
Hey. Jacob.
That was the last video, guys. Awesome. I'm gonna read the last comments and then I'm gonna walk my dog and I will try to read the documents I have to read for my work. So, Iwata, no mask is better. Yeah, mask off. Iwata, I need to see your mouth to hear you. I'm deaf in one ear. Purple Amaryllis, love Graz voice too. Yeah, your voice is so calming. It's an awesome voice, man. Thank you, Cryptex. I got one more drama video, then I'm done. You got my word. I've been living in trauma for 3 years because of these types of people. Yeah, man. Try to stay out of drama. Do your own stuff. You have great skills, man. So don't lose time with other people and drama stuff like that. Simdal, the captain lost my sub. That's for sure. Yeah, I understand your decision, Simdal. Cindy, just so awful for the families. I do believe their son will be fully loved. Yeah, such a tragedy for the kid, also for the wife. USA Libertarian. Hello, happy to have you here again. He certainly was good at managing his online persona. It took me an hour to prove to myself which captain people were talking about. Not that the other one seemed like it either. Yeah, I agree. Graz, when you hear him talk about certain people like Ricardo Lopez or Mr. Anime, it makes you think big time. Next video will be about him breaking down other killers, but he was breaking himself down. Yeah, we are expecting the next videos, Graz. The first 4 videos are awesome, so for sure. And please, guys, if you are not subscribed to Graz, just do it. I put the link of Graz channel here in the chat, and I'm gonna put his link also in the description later here. Simdal, as much as I love his videos, I am sub. I can understand why, guys. No worries. Dan, love you, Cryptex. Hopefully your Easter is well. Same to you, Dan. He's rising for all of the Christian folks. Yeah, happy holiday to you guys, to all of you. This is a very important comment. Hit the like, subscribe, and give Grazilla a visit for sure. That's very important. That was stuff provoking. Thank you, Graz and Cryptex. No, thank you, Graz, not Cryptex. I'm just playing his content here, and I'm glad you're here in the chat, Graz. And remember, we should do some video together soon. Sig is saying, can you do a reaction to this live? That's gonna be fun. Okay, Mar is sharing the Graz channel link. Cool. Cindy, I try to stay out of drama, but I watch it. Okay, guys, I think that's it. We're gonna stay in touch for the next 2 videos of this series. Waiting for that. Graz, again, great work. Awesome editing skills. I'm not tired of saying that. Now it's time to walk my dog. See you tonight. Tonight I'm gonna play also in the same type of way a film which is called The Silence. It is about 2 pedophiles. I talked a lot about this movie in previous streamings. I think it's a really important movie to understand the dynamics of between the pedophiles. There are a lot of similar elements, similarities between that movie and Delphi. So I'm gonna do that tonight. So if you can join me, that's gonna be cool. Again, happy holiday to all of you guys. Thank you for being here. Stay in touch and see you later. Ciao, guys.